Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Oklahoma News Report. I'm Rich Lenz. Attorney General John O'Connor is asking the Oklahoma Criminal Court of Appeals to set execution dates for 7 inmates currently on death row, including Julius Jones. And that is galvanizing supporters who want to see some of those inmates freed, or at least given lesser sentences. Rory Taylor has our report.
Death row inmate Julius Jones has a commutation hearing scheduled soon in the hopes he can argue that he didn't kill a man 22 years ago. On Wednesday, Witness to Innocence, a coalition of death row survivors from different states, delivered a letter of support for Julius Jones to the governor.
My name's Gary Drinkard. I was arrested and convicted for a robbery murder in Alabama that I did not commit. When I read Julius's case, memories just flew back to mine.
Julius Jones has been a high-profile case for some time, with documentaries and celebrities showing their support and belief that Jones is innocent. While the Justice for Julius campaign remains hopeful, they have new concerns following the Attorney General's decision to seek execution dates for Jones and 6 other death row inmates.
Just last week, the new Attorney General for Oklahoma requested of the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals an October the 28th execution date for Julius, knowing full well that he's already scheduled for a commutation hearing on September 13th. And so, of course, that is really troubling to us.
Wednesday's event was part of Julius Jones Week, a week-long event organized by the Justice for Julius Coalition. It includes a live-cast night of prayer, a hoop fest on Thursday, and other events continuing into the weekend.
And then on Saturday, September 4th, starting at 9:30 in the morning, we will be having the Justice for Julius 5K run.
Julius Jones isn't the only death row inmate seeking reprieve from the death chamber. Richard Glossop is seeking a way to stop his execution from happening. He was about to receive lethal injection in 2015 when a mix-up of the execution drugs was discovered. The state halted all executions until a complete review of protocols was put into place. Glossop's case has drawn quite a bit of attention of its own.
Here I am, a pro-death penalty guy trying to get Richard Glossop off, not because I'm against the death penalty, but because I believe he's 100% innocent.
Representative Kevin McDougal is backing an effort to gather signatures to request an investigation of Glossop's case. So far, 10,000 signatures have been gathered on a petition, in addition to a request made by 34 lawmakers that McDougal submitted to the Pardon and Parole Board in June.
I swear to God, I did not do none of this.
McDougal is convinced that Glossop was set up to take the blame for Barry Vantrease's killing.
These are all people who I had the opportunity to sit down and show some of this evidence to. They didn't just sign on to that letter because Kevin McDougal's name's on it. Every one of the people who signed on to that took the time to listen, took the time to take a look, took the time to watch the Netflix series.
Glossop has been granted a hearing for alternate methods to lethal injection in January, but McDougal hopes to have his case reopened before then. Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor believes it is time for the state to resume executing death row inmates. In a statement, O'Connor says in part, "Our thoughts remain with the families and loved ones of the victims of all death row inmates. They have endured the lengthy appeals processes while waiting decades for justice for horrific crimes their loved ones suffered. Further delay will only perpetuate that injustice." Despite the move by O'Connor, Jones's supporters are not giving up.
We've had the pleasure to meet with Julius Jones in person, and he is absolutely grateful for the outpouring of support over the years. And he's absolutely, if you have the opportunity to meet him, he's a man of grace and a man of faith. So he often says thank you to the great support across the nation.
For the last 22 years, he has been on death row in Oklahoma for a crime that Julius did not commit. The last 3 years, we have really been going strong at building advocacy and awareness for Julius and around Julius, because we know that the state of Oklahoma is at risk of executing a wrongfully convicted person.
The Pardon and Parole Board has moved back Jones's commutation hearing to October 5th, about 3 weeks before the requested execution date of October 28th.
Our system is not perfect. It's not perfect. Mistakes is going to happen. But the problem come in is that when this mistake happened in the justice system, and the people that has the power actually sees it and don't try to take action, instead prolong hearings